wasting work. It's Friday, and we're going to be covering some pretty cool street smart things as we jump into our weekend because remember, Saturdays are for psychopaths. Are you guys ready? I think we are. We're going to examine something that's going to, I think, empower us because right now the money, it's kind of fake. And with AI and these different innovations, it's kind of all BS. But it's not going to paralyze us, which is why we're going to get slightly better from poop, from shit. We're literally going to polish up some shit and then get super rich. Polish up our turds, get super rich. Is this what Andrew Mason talked about? Yes. Is this stand up comedy? Sure. But it's Friday and we're getting ready to go out. Let's go. Fakeness with dating. It's okay that there's a little bit of fakeness within dating. Why? Because makeup, in and of itself, is a form of war paint that prepares your face to be slightly more presentable. When women attack imposter complex different from how a man does. Let's take that philosophical 3-minute intro into being something that we can benefit from, which is one, are we pretending to be busy? And when we're pretending to be busy, does that keep us from opportunities taking place? Where are we so tapped with our schedules where we are truly busy because we're overbooked and over scheduled? The countermeasure to that is to not just fake pretend, it's to do the opposite, which is we're going to fake not being busy so that way we get access to more deal flow, where we get access to more opportunities, where the general population is out there pretending to be busy, pretending to be popular, pretending to have loads of friends, where we're going to make it slightly more real by having one more acquaintance, where finding a new friend, that might be a challenge, but reaching out and connecting with a new acquaintance is something that is real, that separates us from the BS that is inherent everywhere with social media. Why, with all this social media, do I feel so disconnected? Well, it's because we've become too reliant upon social media giving us an algorithm for hanging out. Hi, how are you guys? Yes, Happy New Year, which is number 2, which is fake being a big company. How many little companies have big company problems even though they're faking a large company? Where the opposite should be true. You should try to have a large company that fakes being small. And the bullet points that we're running into is, do we want to be a little dog sounding like we're a big dog? No, we want to be a cute little dog that doesn't talk and has a commensurate level of sound. Do you guys know females that are kind of small, but then they're really, really loud because they're trying to make up for it? That's the tendency. And with the first portion of faking success, welcome to Friday, faking success, facing delays, and the fear of wasted work. We're on the component of faking success. Faking accessibility. When we pretend that we're always getting pitched because, oh, we're so important, everybody wants to pitch us. And when you're in that mentality, that's what keeps hot girls from becoming rich, is because you think that every person who's talking to you is hitting on you. How do I know this so well? Because I think this of myself, where I think, oh, is she throwing putty? And does that help me? It does not. So thinking that we're making ourselves less accessible because that makes us less pitchable or pitched, where we want to lean into whenever somebody's trying to sell us something, we might want to say, okay, tell me more, or thank you for pitching me. What other things do you have that you're excited about other than trying to rope me into giving you money? Where you're saying no, but you're saying no to see if maybe later you will say yes. Fake money. There's fake money everywhere. What happens when we see the fake money of the people at the top is a dynamic that is unfortunately going to be here for a little bit of time. In one sentence, it's the Cantillon effect of money. If you're standing closer to the money printer, that's just what happens. What do we do with that fakeness? Does it demoralize us? Because their fake money, it spends real. Their fake money is, how are you spending $800 for sushi tonight? Not letting that demoralize us, because the enemy of comparison is not doing it. That's what you don't want to do. And so when you see a social media post of some $800 sushi meal, we say, oh, that's very nice. And then instead of saying, oh, I hate that person for having shared pictures of their vacation, we then say, we are currently the small dog. Brady, are you enjoying your toy? Come here. Come here. Gonna get a guest on the show where we don't get jelly of the fake money, because it turns out if you put it onto a map, we can actually experience some of that similar fake money because of the mapping of treasure that I went ahead and did, which is why I'm so excited about Friday. 1, faking success. 2, facing delays. 3, fear of wasting work, where we're going to go out on Friday and we're going to be playfully getting better. When you're seeing the fake money, it's important to realize that it's all fake. But for us to sense that if we were to leave the number 0, the momentum of a deal is now able to be levered. And I mean, I can go over it real quick. It's starting with 2 videos and getting yourself up and going, because you can't leverage 0. That's what's so significant about Friday transitioning into Psycho Saturday. Think about maybe playfully doing something in business that is adventurous, that is not something that you would normally do. Facing delays. How many of us pretend to put things to procrastinate when we easily could have just done it quickly? So with facing delays on a piece of paper, if you want to execute faster, this is the practice of no longer facing delays. Because look at how the comments are trying to drive an instant reaction. Can you email a person and then not get a reaction response for 24 hours? When was the last time you sent a cold email? How are you able to cold open people that you don't know? And so when you're facing these delays, you intrinsically don't wire your brain into thinking, oh, if I mail this letter which is snail pace slow, it will not have an instant gratification. Where that's why if our brains are jacked into our smartphone, it's going to be in a circumstance where we are going to have a tough time moving. We're going to have a tough time. That's what facing delays is, where we can take our brain and execute faster while we marinate work, where it's the work itself gradually builds momentum. People also will fake delaying their work to say, oh, I'm actually busy, but they're fake busy. An example of this is when we get a text message. We see it and we could respond right away. But what do? Oh, we pretend to be busy, and then, oh my gosh, 5 hours later, 5 days later, I totally forget to text her back. That's the problem of pretending to be busy. So when you're facing delays from a young, emerging entrepreneurship standpoint, you need to practice speed of execution, practice running a small business as the CEO of You Incorporated, where the last component, which is being fearful of wasting work. When you think that you are doing work without a clear reward, that's the best type of work to do, because there's so few a number of people that are actually doing it. It's incredibly street smart to disconnect the work that you do with an immediate reward. Because if you're needing an immediate reward, you're not doing long-term work for equity building. So back to the previous example of You Incorporated needing to improve you as a corporation, if you're able to delay gratification by assembling work that has a reward that is unknown. And what this is psychologically, it's called the marshmallow test, where can you take a marshmallow, not eat it, and then realize that in some future time frame that you will get double the number of marshmallows. This is the type of work that we need to be doing on weekends. Why? Because on weekends is where we grow, where it's not the Monday through Friday base camp of stuff. And so if we're connecting over a weekend where you're watching this on delay, then realize that our Friday and our Psycho Saturdays can be set up where we have a sequence of 5 Fridays to get slightly better. And our platform is this succinct video that will only be recorded one time. And so we iterate our Fridays to be a sequence of 5 Fridays leading into Saturday. And it's still the beginning of the year where we can do something that is jaw-droppingly amazing compared to what we did last year. Why? Because we're hanging out for the first time as your new acquaintance. And so we are now able to test and play and handle the 3 components for our Friday content, which is 1, countermeasures to when people are faking success and how to deal with fake things. 2, facing delays in how we get rewarded and how we execute. And are we overburdened with being overscheduled? And 3, if we're fearful of wasting work, then we're going to practice getting something commercially viable. And that's the PIMP method, which is put it in my pocket, PIIMP. Oh, are you going to charge me for some of this stuff? No. What are you selling? I'm selling giggles and laughs, and I'm selling a $750,000 class. Is this money that you're going to have to pay up front? No. If you make $1 billion, go ahead and think about giving me a $750K gift. If not, all this content is a choose your own adventure. That's what weekends are. It's a choose your own adventure, being able to slice ahead with weekends to weekend, getting better, weekend to weekend, getting better, where we get to explore, play, and transition from Friday summary to Saturday Psycho Saturday, where we do something amazingly awesome within our practice of entrepreneurship. It was great hanging out with you. I'm Larry Chang. If I've never met you before, it's really cool to say hi, and I hope to hang out with you in a future video.